Honorable OTIENDE AMOLLO, just for the benefit of the House, as a former member of the committee of experts which birthed this constitution, what under this constitution is meant by a commission?
Thank you.
Asked another way, something like the conduct of elections is the role of the commission. Is the secretary to the commission, who should also be the chief executive officer of a commission, a member of the commission?
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, to the extent that you prompted me, I had forgotten to talk about the other proposal, which is also on the floor, which proposes by my friend Honorable Bashir Sheikh, that where the commission is not constituted, the secretary to the commission shall perform the functions of the commission related to the conduct of a by-election under 1014. Mr. Speaker, that proposal would be flatly unconstitutional. And we do not even have to give that answer in this House. The organ that is mandated to interpret the Constitution has severally interpreted and has stated that a commission, to the extent of the role of a commission, is the commissioners. And only the commissioners can then undertake that role. If we were to be in a situation where we can forego or do without commissioners, we'll have fundamentally affected the structure of the Constitution in a way that runs contrary to the finding of the High Court. And the High Court has pronounced itself on this. What we must focus, and I keep coming back to the NADCO report, the urgency of this is obvious. But rather than debate all these proposals, let us fast-track the NADCO report and appoint the commissioners so that we have substantive commissioners who we can deal with. And it is for good reason that those commissioners are endorsed in this House, and if they misbehave, are removed by this House. That is why they are commissioners. So, Mr. Speaker, the answer has been provided by the court previously. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
You may just address the issue you want to raise.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this proposal by Honorable Alice Nganga is an important proposal. It looks timely, but it might be dangerous. It might be, first, Mr. Speaker, because it's preempting a more fundamental issue that we are called upon to deal with as the two houses of Parliament, and that is the report of the National Dialogue Committee, which was adopted by this House and adopted by the Senate, and the Speaker committed it to the joint committees of the Justice and Legal Affairs, co-chaired by Honorable George Murugara here, and the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of both houses had its first sitting already, and without preempting anything, because I'm not the chair, I am aware that we are resuming meeting tomorrow and had agreed to meet weekly. In the NADCO report, a very fundamental proposal has been made to change the period contemplated by the Constitution from between 8 and 12 to extend it to 15 years. Depending on how that discussion is had, the urgency of such a consideration ceases. It is then postponed, and it gives enough time for everyone to think through this matter. To adopt such a proposal right now undermines those proposals in the NADCO report and will actually just end up in some level of confusion. To that extent, Mr. Speaker, this proposal is premature. Secondly, a similar proposal is in the face of the Constitution. We found it necessary to protect the constituencies in issue from the first review, and that is in Schedule 6, Section 27 of the current Constitution. So that when the first review was undertaken, I believe it was in 2012, the idea of interfering with any of these constituencies was foregone, and therefore there was no interference. Such provisions usually are contained in transitional parts of the Constitution, not in the substantive part of a Constitution, because then you are entrenching something for posterity which you might need to deal with differently. To that extent, insofar as the idea is to amend Article 89 on its very face, then it becomes dangerous, instead of even considering an extension of Schedule 6, Section 27, in the event that that is what we wanted to deal with. But thirdly, and more importantly, Article 89 gives various parameters. And the jurisdiction for this is not for the House, it is for the Commission. The House, even this House, cannot arrogate itself a task expressly reserved for an independent commission. In the event that we get there, the idea of preserving all constituencies, not just the ones in danger of being affected, but even all existing constituencies, will then be an idea that is presented to the Commission. I've often told a lot of colleagues that, except that the timing is wrong, but the idea of, delimitation and the Commission considering the boundaries is not an idea we should fear, because the Commission can actually consider it, look at all the constituencies and say, we have reviewed and we've agreed that we are not adding any constituency, we are not affecting any boundary, and they'll have done the constitutional duty. So that is still a possibility that exists. It does not require preempting. And for that reason, Mr. Speaker, it is my considered view that this is a matter that should not be considered at this point. This is a matter which, if it's to be considered, should not be on the body of the Constitution, it should be considered in the schedules. This is a matter that is premature in light of the NADCO report. This is a matter that is preemptive in terms of the jurisdiction of the Commission. And therefore, Mr. Speaker, I do not support. Thank you.